Hello and good morning. For me, it's early Monday morning and it's a beautiful sunny fall day. So I am happy. It has been a while that I uploaded a video. I have been very busy. Work has been super busy and I've had both sides of my wisdom teeth removed. So I had this side first, that was a little rough, and then last Friday I had these two removed and I feel great. So I don't know why this side was so much worse, but that took me at least 3 weeks to really get over. So here's another video. Welcome to another knitting podcast because I have so much to update you on. It's crazy. Like, I looked at the last video, the last podcast that I made, number 16. So this is number 17. And I was like, wow, I was working on those things. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm not even producing anything. Like, I'm just stuck. And then this is a nice way of reassuring myself that it's okay. So if you ever feel like you're not productive or something, you probably are. Like, don't even worry about it. I have so many abandoned whips. Look, it's really funny if the sunlight just hits my nose. Yeah, I wanted to sit here because it's so nice and sunny, but maybe it's not the best for the lighting, but we'll see. It should get better because the sun would move that way. So yeah, anyway, I have so many abandoned whips. I'm going to show you a whip that I started in October. Little spoiler, it was something that everybody was working on that I am kind of abandoning right now. So lots to share. I'm excited. So let's just get started. So first is something that I just casted on when I had my previous video and that I finished like really shortly after, but it's my poppy tee. I have been wearing this one a bunch and it kind of grew, so it's kind of wider on my body. Same thing every time. I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. This is my Maude Tee sweater edition. So this was before the Elizabeth blouse by Petite Knits was released. The Maude Tee was originally a short sleeve tee, and I saw some people make it a modification to make it long sleeved, so I wanted to do that too. And I made it in my beautiful Noro Kakigori. So it's very pretty. One thing I would really recommend that I did that I'm not super happy about that I did is I made the polo a little shorter than they say. I think just by a centimeter, but at the back it doesn't really flip over really easily. And I think last time you saw me wearing this is a while ago, like almost a year ago, or maybe January or something. But I hadn't blocked it yet, and it does feel better now that it's blocked. So yeah, and I'm gonna wear it. I have to go to the office later today. I'm gonna wear it to work, so I think it looks nice with a nice little short sleeve polo underneath and a little necklace. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing. That's my Maude Tee. Now another petite knit design, and I gotta say I'm knitting a lot of petite knit stuff, and I really want to support other businesses too, but I just really like her simple designs, and then I can be crazy with color. Not super crazy, but I can like, it's like a really simple design, so you can be creative in your own way in that. But if you have a more creative design, then I don't know. I just like her patterns. So this is the poppy tee, by Petite Knits, and I've knitted it in drops cotton merino. And the nice thing about it is the shoulder construction. So you start by making the back until here. So there's increases. So this line here is part of the back. Then you pick up stitches to do the fronts. And then later you pick up stitches to make a set-in sleeve on the side of this front seam. And then it turns into a raglan. It's super nice to knit because it all goes really fast. And then you have kind of a long raglan, but it looks so nice. I really like the way that this looks. And I know I talked about that before, but it just makes me so happy. Yeah, the only thing I did something, I was wearing it. It's not even that bad right now, but if you can see here, some bubbling. I was wearing it with my rain jacket, and my rain jacket has Velcro. So the Velcro got stuck apparently on this t-shirt and like created all these like this stuff. And that was like the first time I wore it. So I was a little sad about that. Oh, I just realized I have another whip that I abandoned that I haven't even brought out here. Okay, I'll see if I have time for that. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here so you can look at it, how pretty it is. There. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I would definitely knit it again. Although I also have a Colette tee, and I also knitted that one with some negative ease because I knitted this one with negative ease, but it's definitely doesn't really have negative ease. It's like pretty bigger on the body, but that's also because of the yarn. I feel like I'm not even explaining myself correctly. So it's the drops cotton merino in the colorway navy. Yeah. And I did use the 3.5mm needles, but the yarn is a little bigger than a sport weight. It's more like a DK. So I think my gauge is a little bigger. And I made the size small, I think. Let's see. My Ravelry right here. I made, yeah, the size small on 3.5mm needles. Which would not be my recommended bust circumference to make. Probably if I follow my recommended bust circumference size, I would go to an XL or a double XL, but I think this one even is big on me. And I made the Colette tee also in a size small, and then I knitted it a little bit bigger because I realized that the arms were too small. But I went up a needle size on the Colette tee. So I made the Colette tee on a 4.5mm needle, and it's supposed to be in a 4mm needle. But that finished object, and I made it in Sunless Garn Duo, which is also 50% wool, 50% cotton, just like the drops cotton merino. But that shirt like stays a little more around my body, and it could be like it hugs my body a little more, and it could be that this one, it's because the way the shoulders are constructed, that it is a little more boxy. That's why it's like that. But I like it nevertheless. But it kind of makes me think I would rather make another Colette tee than I would make another poppy tee. Although I love this neckline. So I might make the Colette tee with this neckline. Pretty. With a pearl bump here. Okay, on to another finished object. So this is, you might have seen this in my video about 52 weeks of socks, but I made the Oona Socks. So the Oona Socks are a pattern by Omi Knits. I think there's a name too in the book, but on Ravelry it says Omi Knits. And it's this I would say all over lace pattern. And yeah, there you can see it. I made it in Life in the Long Grass Earth, I think, the yak base. So it's like superwash merino together with yak and nylon. So you still have to hand wash them because the yak could potentially felt if you put it in a washing machine. And what I really like about this sock is actually the heel flap. The heel flap is this beautiful honeycomb kind of pattern, and then it has these pearl bumps to the side, which are really pretty. And the alteration I made was I made a folded over cuff. So you would have this thick cuff at the top instead of just having a cast on edge. I really like that. That's from my own pattern design. Oh yeah, and I'm wearing those actually. Okay, you can't see it at all, but I'm wearing my Kirsten Bosch socks. Here, I'll take one off. Excuse my worn sock look. But these are my Kirsten Bosch socks. I swear they used to look just as pretty as those just coming off the blocker. But these have a folded over cuff stockinette, and I have the ribbing folded over cuff option in there as well. So if you're interested, I'll put in a link down below to my Ravelry page of my own pattern. So I added that in, and then I made a really long leg, which I wish was this long, because now it's like kind of scrunching up. I would rather have it had like 3 repeats or something. Yeah, and if you want to know more about this sock pattern, you can watch my video where I take you along into the whole journey of knitting them in the heat, on the beach, in the train, to work, everything. So yeah, the Oona socks. And I haven't even worn them. It's weird because there's like holes in them. I don't know. Have you ever made lace socks where you're like, I need warm socks. I'm not going to put on my lace socks because they have holes in them and they'll be cold. It's kind of silly. I put so much time into this. Like, it's so much more work to make this than vanilla socks. So yeah, I don't know. All right, on to, let's put them next to this. Look at that. Nice background. There. On to another finished object, and I haven't shown this in a podcast yet. And I was making a video about this, but I felt like it was getting a little monotone, like it was getting a little boring. But I did show it in my fall knitting plans video, and I showed you the beginning of it. And it is my Sophie Shawl. There's the middle. It's so long. Like, wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around. So it's wrapped around twice. I made this as a part of my acrylic stash down videos, and I used this lilac color, and I almost used all of it up. I knitted until I was halfway through. I went down a needle size, so I did it on a 4.5mm needle. Would not recommend. Just make it in the biggest needle size that you have, I would say. At the start I was like, oh wow, this is going so fast. But once you get towards the middle, it's going very slow. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I know a lot of people have made the Sophie scarf, the little tiny one, long one. And this is the Sophie Shawl by Petite Knit. As is everything nowadays. I'm sorry. I'll do better. I don't know if you care. Okay. So you can see here is a little I-cord edge on both sides, which is very easy to do. You just slip your last 3 stitches and then you knit them. On the first 3 stitches you always knit, and the last 3 stitches you always slip with the yarn front and back. Well, you have to be careful which way. And yeah, so this went all super fast, super fast, super fast. It's really a super easy pattern. It's almost crazy that she can ask so much money for it. But it's okay. I mean, she did make a pattern and people buy it and it's nice, but it's barely a pattern. It's just increase every so many rows. The start is maybe a little, and the start and the end is maybe a little tricky, but that's all. You just have to cast on, and then it's like you just do the same thing all over until you reach the middle, which is a certain amount of stitches or halfway your yarn, and then you go the other way. So that's why I felt like my video was getting really boring, because I was just doing the same thing every time. And then at some point I had to decrease. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna actually turn all of that footage into a video. It is my 4th project for my acrylic stash down. So if you don't know, I have been trying to stash down all of my acrylic yarn. Yeah, so I'm hosting a knit along, so if you want to join, you're free to join. Some people have, super nice. Thank you for making me feel a little more like I have friends in this little journey. But I have felt when I was making this, and I was making the socks, and I was making all these things to make content, it made me feel more like it was turning into a job, which definitely made it less enjoyable to be knitting. And that's why when I show you that whip that I'm abandoning, and then show you a whip that I'm super excited about, it has changed my way of thinking about what I want to knit on and what makes me happy, and just following my intuition and my creativity wherever it wants to take me, and not trying to reach a certain amount of followers or subscribers or whatever. Like, okay, I really don't care about my Instagram at all, so followers, I don't. But it made me think about why I'm doing this in the first place. And that really is, I love knitting. I love to knit. I love to make things. I love to be happy with the things that I make. And I don't want it to be a job, or, well, at least because I have a full-time job. So it's a lot if you want to make if you make the hobby into a side job too. So I just want to do this for fun. Maybe that's even like part of why there wasn't a video out for a little bit. I'm just coming to the realization as I'm talking through it right now. This is a hobby. Making videos is a hobby. Even if I would ever get monetized, ever get to 1,000 subscribers, then it would still not make any money. So I should really just, it's a hobby, and I shouldn't force myself to make any project for a video just to get a video out, because it's my hobby. Yeah, and that's it. It can be frustrating sometimes though, because you always compare yourself with other people, and you see other people who just started, and then YouTube is favoring them in their algorithm, and they do not favor me. So if you see this video, you're the chosen one. You're very much the chosen one. So feel very happy to have gotten my video, because YouTube doesn't like to show my videos to a lot of people. But anyway, this is not a competition. This is not work. This is not anything else other than me doing a hobby and sharing it to people who are very nice. And I appreciate you for watching and commenting, because it makes me feel like I am part of a online community, and that I have knitting friends who are watching this. So thank you for watching this. Okay, that was a whole different story than just, hey, here's my Sophie Shawl. But here's my Sophie Shawl. It's finished. I'm not wearing it, so I don't even know why I made it. But there's another project done for my acrylic stash down videos. So yay. Although it's not even a video. So I don't know, maybe I'll just give away my acrylic yarn. If there's anybody who wants some acrylic yarn, let me know. I have a bunch. All right, on to some other stuff. I'm keeping an eye on, I put a timer up because I have to go in a meeting. Yeah, in 13 minutes. So if this video is longer than that, I decided to do another part in a later time. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It's also dark here at like 5:30, just dark already. So it's kind of hard to find time to film when you have a full-time job. And in the weekends, my boyfriend wants to do fun things, so. Oh yeah, I went skating, ice skating this weekend. Super fun. Anyway, okay. So here's the thing that I have been dreading. Here, you can maybe see what it's from. So spoiler alert, if you're doing the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West, then I'm gonna show you clue 1, 2, and 3 right now. So that was already a spoiler for how far I got for showing you. I'll put in chapters so you know how long this chapter takes, and you can go to the next chapter. So do that now. All right. So here is my Stephen West Geogradient Mystery Knit Along of 2023. If I look at it like this, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty nice and impressive. I don't know. So I'm sure if you know about the Mystery Knit Along. So Stephen West runs a Mystery Knit Along every year in the month of October, and then he releases 4 clues. Every Thursday he releases a clue, 4 in total, and you build your shawl based on the clues. So you do one part, then you do a second part, then you do a third part, and then you do a fourth part. And you don't know which direction it's going and where your first part is gonna be in the scarf or anything. So the first part was this square in the middle, and there was a lot of commotion about it because people thought it looked like a swastika. So I made some alterations. I took out a part that made it look the most like that, And I already made some alterations while I was doing it for the other two parts, but I crocheted the other two parts. So I just took it all out and then crocheted it together, which was very nice to do and very cool to see that I could do that. That I was able to, I just freestyled some crochet and then I put it together and it's not falling apart, so that's nice. So that was clue 1 in the middle. Then clue 2 were these parts with the eyelets, basically the arrows pointing out. And then part 3 is this with a lot of slip stitches, and then on the other side I'm in the middle of doing that. So I was in the middle of this and then clue 4 came out. So I was kind of caught up. I felt pretty good since I had to go back and redo clue 1 3 times because I made the original one at first and then the whole thing came out and then I changed a bunch of things. So I ripped it out, changed a bunch of things, and I went in and crocheted. Yeah. Then it was halfway here when clue 4 came out, and then I wanted to see what it was looking like in total. And then I saw the total shawl and I was like, I would have never casted that on. When I saw it, I thought that's not my style, and I don't think I would wear that. I don't think I would wear that. I do like my colors, but I don't know if I can see myself wearing this. And I kind of knew that before I started, but I kind of also just wanted to join a mystery knit along one time. So what I did was I just folded it up and I just put it back in here with the yarn, put it away, and I thought, man, I used up all my knitting time in October to knit on something that I'm not even happy about, and I had so many plans for this fall. So then I had this whip that I showed you in my fall knitting plans video that just had a little bit done, and I was like, okay, I'm putting this to the side and I'm gonna work on something that I'm excited about. And that's what I'm gonna show you right now. And I'm so excited about it. So excited about it. Da, 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 da. So this is my Eva cardigan, another petite knit design, and it is the same construction as the Poppy Tee. So it has the same thing with the back and the fronts, and then this picked up stitches, and oh, it's just such a nice fabric. All the different colors. Oh, it's just so nice. So right now I'm on the body, close to the ribbing. I have to do a certain amount of centimeters at the back. Okay, I'm gonna take my hamster out of her cage. Excuse me, my hamster can be a little loud sometimes, so I'm just taking out her running wheel for a little bit. So I'm almost at the ribbing, and I'm so excited about this. I am using, because it might look a little similar to this, it's also Noro yarn. I'm using Noro Socks Solo Silk Garden Sock Solo something. Those words, but then in a different order. That's this yarn held together with, trying to find a spot where there's no sunlight, but I can't find it. held together with drops, kid silk in this light lavender. I have all of my stuff in this bag that I won from my giveaway from Brook Willow. So this is the drops kid silk in the color 9. I think it was light lavender. So it's like pinkish lilac. And then I have one more ball of the Noro. So it's Silk Garden Sock Solo. And I fell in love with this at a fair, and I bought 4 balls, and I was waiting for the right project. And then the Eva Cardigan came out. So this yarn is 40% wool, 25% silk, 25% polyamide because it's sock yarn, and 10% mohair. And it just looks so pretty. I do think it's smart to hold it together with a silk mohair because it is sometimes when I'm knitting on it, it just tears apart. So it's not very strong. I don't know why it's sock yarn, but I would say to hold it together with something. I'm so excited about it. The only thing is that, so this is my 3rd ball. I'm in my 3rd ball right now, and I hope I have enough yarn. And I'm making the size large, and for the size large, the recommended yarn is just 1 strand of Peer Gynt by Sundays Garn, and that goes 50 grams is 91 meters, and it says to use 13 balls of that, so that would equate to a little under 1200 meters of yarn, and I have exactly 1200 meters of this yarn, and I have enough kid silk. So that would mean that I would have exactly enough or a little over, but it does feel like I'm not super far. Like, am I over half right now? I don't know, maybe I am. The thing is that the button band is like really thick, and I'm thinking if I should switch on the yarn chicken mode or if I should just follow the pattern and trust that it's enough yarn. The thing is too that if you have a thicker yarn, you'll need more meters. So a lot of times you see like a fingering weight held together with a mohair, and then the fingering weight has a higher yardage than the mohair. And that is, I think, because if you make little loops, the mohair would always make the like smallest will be on the inner curve of the loop, so you actually use up a little less mohair, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping the thing, it counts the same for the Peer Gynt. If you just use 1 strand of the thicker Peer Gynt, then it uses up a little more Peer Gynt than if you use a strand of fingering, which this officially is. Looks a little thicker to me. I don't know. I just hope I have enough yarn. And for now, I am just going to finish the body and then think if I want to make the button band first or the sleeves first. It's also nice to just play the yarn chicken on the sleeves, because then you can just do a little more rapid decreases, make the sleeves a little shorter or something. I'll figure that out. Anyways, I'm super, super duper excited about it. I am making the Riverbed Socks by Sophie Shawl from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. I'm making it with 2 strands of mohair and 1 strand of sport weight yarn, and it's creating this beautiful cable, and this is all purl stitches. But I'm making a video about this and I'm running out of time, so I'll show you that another time. Maybe it'll just be finished next time you see it. I am recording on my phone quick because I felt like I was rushing through this. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this before I sign off. But these are the Riverbed Socks by Sophie Shawl. It has this beautiful cable on the middle, which is actually not a cable. So it's like you just move the stitches every round and it creates this cable look-alike. And the rest of the sock is all purled. Oh yeah, there's a cable at the back of the foot too. Yeah, sorry, I'm holding it really poorly. And I did an alteration because here at the, it has a heel flap and gusset. The gusset was knit stitches and not purl stitches. So I changed it to be purl stitches. And I'm doing them 2 at a time, as you can see. And I'm using all these yarns. I'm holding a mohair from Drops, a gray one, together with a purple one from African Expressions, and the blue thread that you see is from Spin Knits, which I put a link of Spin Knits in one of my videos in the description, and then I got a YouTube penalty. Crazy, because that website got hacked. So then YouTube thought I was sharing spam. Super weird. But so yeah, that's the yarn that I'm using, and I'm knitting from the inside and from the outside at the same time from the same ball. And I have a lot of yarn left, and I thought I wouldn't have enough, so I'll definitely have enough for finishing these socks. Those are the Riverbed Socks by Sophie from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. There's one thing I want to show you more, which is this beautiful Icelandic yarn that my friend brought over from Iceland. And it's from Lopi, it's Plotu Lopi, and it's unspun. And I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna make with it. I'll see in the future. So that was it. I need to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. That will make me very happy. And I'll see you in my next video. All right.